Hello again in this installment of Spiritual Wisdom. Today I'm going to be talking about being told what to do and how there's two forms of being told what to do. One is positive, one is negative. So the first form of being told what to do is someone giving you advice, guidance and instruction where they might show you how to do something, and then you can if someone gives you advice, you can think about that. Someone gives you guidance, like they speak to you or talk to you about something, you can think about that, make your own mind up. And if someone gives you instruction, like if someone shows you how to meditate, how to pray, how to do a certain manifestation technique, you can say, right, you can take inspiration from that person and then you can apply that technique method in your own way and do it your own way. And that's quite positive. But there's another form of being told what to do which is quite negative. And this tends to happen in organised religions, but it can happen in a lot of different circles. So we'll start with the organised version and then we'll start with the less organised tradition. But when someone tells you, well, this is how God is, this is the only way to think about God, this is the only way to work with God, this is the true way, the right way, the only way, I'd be very wary of that person. Very wary, because at the end of the day, there's anyone that comes across where they're telling you what to say, what to think, and they want you to act a certain way, they want you to follow every single word they say, I'd be very wary of that person. Because some people, this happens in occult circles sometimes. It can happen in covens as well, where someone thinks they're in a coven when in truth they're not in a coven, they're in an occult, and you've got a dogmatic leader. But even in a coven setting, now there's pros and cons with being in a genuine coven, but sometimes the high priest or the priestess, sometimes in those circles, the high priest and the high priest forget their role, that they're there to help everyone. They forget that they are important, but everyone else is important too, and they've got a duty of care. But sometimes they forget that duty of care, and the power gets to their head, and you know and this happens in the Catholic religion, Islam, Judea. Sometimes you get priests that forget they're servants of God, servants of the faith, but they think they're God themselves. And to me, someone who thinks they are God themselves, it's a difference to have a connection with divinity, to have a connection with spirit, and to spirit to speak to you. But some people really overstep that line and they think they are God themselves, which to me is the ultimate for blasphemy. And sometimes this happens in organised religion, it can happen. Sometimes you get people who are new to witchcraft as well, new to magic, and they get a teacher, but that particular teacher is controlling and dogmatic, because that teacher has got, what would be the word for it? They've got a big ego, and also they've got religious trauma, which is tainting their teachings in that, and training others. So anyone in life that tells you this is the only way, the true way, the right way, I'd be very wary of that person. To me, because to me, I would always say, as a teacher myself, as a spiritual advisor, teacher, I always say, this is what I think, this is my understanding, and I'll always share my opinion, my understanding. If there's facts about that subject, I will share facts about that subject. But at the end of the day, I always encourage you to do your own research, and I always encourage you to listen to your gut at the end of the day, because your gut will never deceive you. You know, whatever your gut feeling is about something or someone, it's usually never wrong. You know, and your gut is never wrong, so you should always listen to your gut. And I would say anyone that tells you what to think, what to say, how to act, how to do things, I'd be very wary of that person. I would want to run as fast as you can, because a teacher should give you advice, guidance, and they should give you maybe instruction, but at the end of the day they should let you study it for yourself, make your own mind up. And that's what we should all do. There's too much, for thousands of years, and even today's society, too many people are keeping up with the Joneses, too many people like to follow the leader and be in with the crowds. In this world, many people are afraid to be an individual. You were born an individual. You were born unique, different. But so many people, they don't love themselves. They care what other people think. And when you don't love yourself, when you care what other people think, and you want to fit in, and you want people to like you, because if you don't love yourself, you want to fit in, you want everyone to love you and like you. That's natural, that's human behaviour. You want to get on with everyone, you want to be loved. But when you learn to love yourself, you realise that you are wonderful and amazing, and no one has to tell you that. You see it for yourself. And if you're connected with your spirit guides know who you are. And a good affirmation is, I know who I am, and the universe knows who I am. But and this is why, if you don't love yourself and you care what other people think of you, you can be a target for people that love to control people. Just like you would say Charles Manson, for example. A lot of those individuals, but Charles Manson, who was an occult leader, and again, in that circle, you've got someone who's telling you what to think, what to do, and again, all follow the leader. And anybody like that, or anything like that, get yourself out, run as fast as you can. And a lot of not all of them were women, but a wide majority, the biggest majority of his followers were women. Some were men too, but again, they were blinded by his charisma, blinded by his ego, and also half of them were taking drugs. And a lot of those people that were in that circle, right, of Charles Manson, right, it was wrong what they done. But at the end of the day, a lot of them were at a crossroads in life. A lot of them came from broken homes. A lot of them were lost souls. And when people are lost, they want someone to guide them, someone to help them. And they want, naturally people want someone to lead them into the light, not the darkness. And he gave them that delusion that I'm helping you and I'm leading you into the light. And he told them, you've got to think this way, you've got to behave this way in order to achieve some delusional idea he told them. But, in reality, a genuine person would say, this is what I think, this is what I feel, this is my understanding, these are the facts as I understand them. That's my approach. But then I always encourage you to do your own research, think about things, and trust your gut at the end of the day. And that's the difference between a positive person might tell you what to do. They're giving you advice, guidance and instruction. Then you get people that are quite dodgy characters that tell you what to think, how to act, how to pray, and that their way is the only way. And if they show you a technique, they say you've got to do it the way I do it. And anybody like that, would say this is just how I do it, but there's other ways to do this technique, and I encourage you to find your own way. That's a good person. Anyone that says this is the only way to do it and you should do it the way I do it, that person, I would say, a big red flag, quite dodgy. So, and we tend to see this a lot. I've seen it a lot, where there are people that claim to be a teacher, advisor, but they're not allowing people to think for themselves. They're not leading people into the light. They're leading people into even more danger, more darkness. And you can see that with Charles Manson. And I'm just using Charles Manson as an example, but there's a lot of occult leaders over the years, and they used drugs, they used hypnosis, they used psychological mind games because they wanted to get into their followers' minds. And again, I love that word follow, because again, it's that old game, follow the leader. And sometimes this can happen in organised religions where you've got a priest or a religious figure. They've got a duty of care to protect their followers, to lead their followers into wisdom, into light, knowledge. But in fact, they're leading their followers into a false sense of security. Not all priests are like this, not all ministers, but there are those who are like this, who tell you what to think, to tell you how to pray, how to meditate, or how to do things, and they tell you you've got to copy me and my way is the only way, the true way. Anybody like that, or if anybody tells you anything like that, I'd be very wary of that person. And that's the message in this video. Always think for yourself, always trust your gut, always do your own research. And even if I tell you something, I'm just giving you a pinch of knowledge. So I'm giving you some knowledge, some insight, and then you can do that. Because when I talked about oranges and their magical properties, my friend at the time, he fact-checked that because I mentioned how oranges in Chinese culture are lucky, and he done his own research and fact-checked that, and it was true what I was saying. And I was grateful that he did check it, researched it, because I always encourage people to do their own research, their own studying, and always think for yourself. And that would be my biggest message, always think for yourself. Anyone that says, you've got to do this way, this is how you should think, act and behave, rather than explaining why, explaining things and allowing you to make your own mind up. That's a good teacher. The other version of being told what to do is quite negative and should be avoided. Anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. If you've been here for a while, thank you for your continuous support and watching these videos. I'll be doing more zodiac sign videos based on tarot, and I'll be doing lots of other videos, so thank you for your support. And if you're new to my channel, my name is Nicholas, and on my channel I talk about witchcraft, Wicca, self-love, manifestation, and all manner of spiritual topics. And self-love in today's world is quite a philosophical, it's always been a philosophical topic, but it's also in many ways it's found its way into spirituality, which is a beautiful thing. And I'll be talking more about self-love and all that good stuff. So until next time, have a great day, and if you're new here, please subscribe, join this amazing community, click the bell icon so you'll be notified each time I post a new video. And to all of you, continue watching my videos. Thank you for your support. It really means a great deal, and I'm grateful we've got this little community here. And if any of you've got any questions, please comment down below. If you've got a video you would like me to make, just comment down below. And no question is a silly question, because we all have to start somewhere, and I don't know everything, no one does, but I have a lot of knowledge. And the goal of my channel when I first started is I understood that there was a lot of misconceptions about witchcraft, about spirituality and and I was interested, but I wanted to spread my message and put some of those misconceptions to bed, and also just share knowledge as well. As always, have a great day. May meet, may part, meet again. Blessed be.